Do you want to learn Japanese? If you clicked on this video, you probably do. Plug in your headphones and get ready to take some notes because we are going to learn Japanese through the song Ai no Senshi from Sailor Moon, one of my favorite anime series of all time. It's part 4, technically, in a series of Learn Japanese by Anime songs that I'm doing. I have 3 others before it. The first one is Tokimeki no Doukasen from Shigeyugi. The second one is Zankoku no Tenshi no Teize from Evangelion. The third one, unfortunately, is blocked in most countries, and I didn't know that YouTube would do this until after the fact, so hardly anyone has seen it. But if you're in one of those countries where it's not blocked, it's Successful Mission from Saber Marionette J. So I recommend at the very least that you watch the first 2 ones that I did before this one, because I'm going to kind of power through some of the grammar rules that I covered in the first 2 videos. And if you are completely new to Japanese, or if you didn't see the first 2 videos, they might be a little confusing to you. I'll still explain them, but quite quickly. Alright, so that's just a tip before we get started. Alright, I'm just gonna jump right into it. The first line is Kami is hair, moe-agaru is to burn and to rise, like while you're burning, to burn up, basically. Sora is the sky. Sora ni moe-agaru is to burn up towards the sky, and it's your kami that is doing all of this because ga, the subject marker or object marker? Object. Because ga, the object marker, comes after kami, hair. So my hair is burning up towards the sky. Karada is body, honou is flames, and then no yo means it is like the thing that precedes it. So honou no yo means like flames. Ga, as you might have remembered from the last sentence, it's the object marker, so your body is like flames. Yadawa is a very feminine way of saying like, ew, no, or I protest, or no, I don't like this. And then nande ko naru no is a whole phrase by itself, like why is this happening? Why does this have to happen? Nande means why, ko means like in this way or like this, and then naru is to become. So ko naru is to become like this, and then no at the end in this case is like a little question marker, like why does it have to be this way? Hontoni is for real, like seriously, because it's written in katakana, you know that it means like, it's a little more slangy this way. Mo is like, okay, like already, enough's enough. It's that kind of feeling, this kind of mo. Okocchau means I'm going to get angry. Okoru is to get angry, and then if you change the ru to chau, the small tsu followed by chau, that means, it's like okotte shimau, you might know this one, which is meaning to, it's often described in Japanese textbooks as to do the verb completely, like to get angry completely. It also kind of has this, uh-oh, this thing is happening context to it. So seriously, I'm gonna get mad. Koi o suru, koi is romance or love. Suru is like to do. So koi o suru means to do love, to do romance is what it literally means, but it means to fall in love or to love romantically. Setsunai means you're feeling in pain. And then mama, if you add that to the end of it, it means like while in the state of the previous thing. So while in the state of feeling pain, I am in love. Amai yume means sweet dreams. And then you add an o to the end of amai yume. Think of that as one thought by itself in brackets. Amai yume o mitetai means I want to keep seeing. Miru is to see. Mitetai means want to continue seeing. So amai yume o mitetai means I want to keep seeing sweet dreams. And then if you add the no ni to the end of it, it's like, but alas! It's that feeling to it like, oh man, I wanted to do this thing, but then, like it's implied, but it was all for naught, but this horrible thing happened, but now I can't. It has that kind of connotation. Yurusenai, if you are a fan of Sailor Moon, you have probably heard this expression a zillion times. It literally means to not forgive someone, but if we use the word forgive in English, Western English, we have this religious connotation to it that is not in the Japanese. Yuruseru also means beyond just forgiveness, like religious forgiveness or something. It also means permission, like I will not permit this. This is unacceptable. If you say yurusenai, it means this is unacceptable. I will not permit this. This is unforgivable, rather than I won't forgive you. That's more, I don't know, that just, we don't say that, okay? I mean, maybe some people say that, or maybe you say that in a church or maybe you say that in church or something. But yeah, we don't really say that in our day-to-day lives. So if you think of yurusenai as I won't forgive you, that's not really correct. It can also mean, especially in Sailor Moon's context, it's more like you will pay for this. Aitsura means those bad guys. Aitsu is that guy, but it also has this aitsu, like that bad guy. It has that jerk, that kind of context to it. And then ra at the end makes it a plural, so those bad guys. And then no, so those bad guys, no, apostrophe S. Sorry if I'm going fast for you guys, but I'm kind of assuming you watched the two previous sing by song videos before this one. So sei is fault. So aitsura no sei means it is their fault, those bad guys' fault. And then yo at the end is an emphatic, I know this to be true. So yurusenai aitsura no sei yo means like those bad guys are going to pay dearly for what they have done. Yappari means it is as I feared, or as I thought, or I was right. It's that kind of feel to it. Watashi is I. Okay, yaru kyanai. This song is a great example of a lot of nakya, nakucha, kya, all of those kinds of things. So anytime this nakucha, nakya, kya, all those things happen after a small tsu, it is a form of like, I must do the verb that came before me. So in this case, the verb is yaru, which is to do. So yaru kyanai means I must, or I have no choice but to do it. Tataki tsubusu is to crush. And then if you change the su to shite yaru, it means, oh, I'm gonna freaking crush them. It has that kind of feel to it. Like, oh man, I'm gonna freaking crush their skulls. It has that kind of feel to it, although not necessarily profane. And then wa is a very feminine, this happens a lot in this song. Wa and no, basically if they're at an end of a sentence, they're very feminine, or sometimes kansai ben if we're speaking wa. And, you know, all the protagonists basically of Sailor Moon are very feminine, so kono te de means with my own hands, like literally it means that, with these hands. Kono te de is myself basically, like I'm gonna do it myself. Aku means evil, and then wo means a verb should come after that, right? Like aku wo tataki tsubushite yaru wa. See what happened there? No, I don't see what happened there. Okay, I'll explain what happened there. So what they did, possibly to make it poetic, possibly to make the syllables fit into the song better, or also just for different kinds of emphasis in the sentence. She's telling you that she will crush something, and then she's explaining immediately after it what it is exactly that she's going to crush. If she were saying this as a complete sentence without this poetry, for lack of a better word, it would be kono te de aku o tataki tsubushite yaru wa. But instead she did tataki tsubushite yaru wa, and then kono te de aku o. So she kind of reversed those thoughts. But altogether it means I'm gonna pound evil to death, I'm gonna crush evil to death with my bare hands. Soyo means that's right. Soremade means until then. Ganbaranakucha. So again, this whole nakucha, nakya thing. I better do the verb that comes before that, in which case this verb is ganbaru, which is to try hard. But it also means to endure, to persevere. We often see it translated as to try hard. That's often how I used to think of it as, because that's how I'd read it in subtitles all the time, is to try hard. But it's really more like persevere. or endure. Yeah, and I translated it in the description as persevere. I'll just have to persevere. So if that's right, until then, I'm just gonna have to persevere. 目覚めなさい itself is a phrase. It means wake up. Mezameru is to wake up, to awaken, and then if you change the ru to nasai, it means please do, or it's like a command. Aoi senshi, so aoi in this case doesn't always mean blue or green. It can also mean young. And that's how I translated it in here. I feel like it's young, not really blue. If it were a song about Sailor Mercury specifically, or Sailor Neptune, then maybe it would be Blue Soldier, but I think they really mean young soldier or young soldiers. Oh yeah, and senshi means soldier or guardian or warrior. It doesn't really mean guardian. That's kind of how it's been translated in Crystal and in PGSM, obviously, but it doesn't quite mean guardian. It means warrior. But I mean, if you're a fan of Sailor Moon, you know that that's their word that they use to describe Sailor Moon and her team. Donna means no matter. It's kind of hard to describe on its own, so let's keep going. Warui hito means bad person, and then datte means even, which is another word that's difficult to describe on its own. So the whole expression donna warui hito datte means even the worst person, like no matter how bad this person is, even the worst person. Or I translate it as no matter how evil someone is. Skinara. Nara, if you add it to the end of a verb, it means if the verb that came before it. So skinara means if you love, or if they love, or if we love, or if I love. I love how Japanese doesn't use pronouns. Shinjite miru means to try to believe in. If you add te miru to the end of a verb, which in this case is shinjiru, it becomes the try to do that verb. So shinjite miru is try to believe in, or try to trust. And I translated the whole thought there as, if you love them, you should give them the benefit of the doubt. Soreo, so sore in this case, they're referring to basically the last two lines of the song. Sore means like that. So the whole concept of this person who's thinking, hey, no matter how evil a person is, if you love that person, you know, you should try to give them the benefit of the doubt. That's a very Sailor Moon way of thinking, right? So the protagonists of Sailor Moon are the kinds of people that give evil people second chances, like Nephrite and the Ayakashi no Yon Shimai, the four weird sisters. I don't remember what they were called in any, I mean, they're called so many different things in the different subtitles and dub versions. Basically, the four evil sisters in the Upside Down Moon clan with Rubius, they're Ayakashi no Yon Shimai in Japanese, and that's all I remember. Anyway. You'll see like a lot of the bad guys in this series get, you know, redemption. And that's a big theme in Sailor Moon, and a big theme like the protagonists in Sailor Moon believe in redemption no matter how bad you are. So that whole sentiment in that first part of this second verse, that whole donna waru hito datte suki nara shinjite miru no, that whole idea of no matter how bad a person might be, you should love them and try to give them a chance, try to have faith in them. And then soreo, so that whole thought, soreo, ryou means to use, to manipulate. So, and then nande after that is like, oh my god, I can't believe that, blah, blah, blah. So, oh my god, to think that you would manipulate, that you would use people who believe in that phrase of, oh, no matter how bad a person is, there's redemption. That's what that whole thought is, if you kind of look at the whole verse as a whole. Donnano, again, it's referring to that. The act of manipulating people who think that evil people should get a second chance. Yacha ikenai means you should not do that, or it should not be done. That comes from yaru. Again, remember that verb from earlier, to do? So yacha ikenai means it must not. You cannot. That's something that cannot be done. And then you add the noyo at the end, and again, that just makes it very feminine, but also very emphatic. Karatte means always. Mamoritai means I want to protect you or I want to take care of you. And then no, again, makes it feminine. So I always want to take care of you. Anata no tame, anata means you. And no tame means for the sake of the thing that came before no tame. So anata no tame means for you, for your sake. Tonde yuku, tobu means to fly. And then tonde yuku means like I will fly out and go forth. So for your sake, I would fly out and go, basically for your sake, I would go anywhere and do anything for you to protect you. And then again, wa at the end because feminine. Ai means love, dake means only, so ai dake means only love. And then ga, so only love as a thought in brackets, ga, that's the object of the sentence, only love. Kagirinai means infinite or limitless. And then enaji is energy, spoken with Japanese accent. So ai dake ga, only love is limitless energy, or in better English, only love has limitless energy. Ne means hey, listen up. Watashitachi means us. So in the first chorus it was yappari watashi, like I have to do these things, but now she's saying hey, we have to do some stuff. Yarukyanai ne from the first chorus, okay, so hey, we've got to do something about this. Like, we have to act. We can't stay still any longer. Yarukyanai. All right, onna no ko. I think I mentioned this earlier, but onna no ko does not mean the woman's girl, even though ko means child or little girl, and then onna means woman. It actually turns onna into an adjective, so it basically means female child, which basically just means girl. So onna no ko means girl. That used to confuse the hell out of me when I was first learning Japanese. I thought in like the Amegami-sama theme song, onna no ko wa tarada ate, I thought they were singing about some woman's girl. And they're just singing about girls in general. Okay, so onna no ko no, so the girls, junjo. Junjo means like naivety, pure-heartedness, innocence. Misete yaru, so miseru is to show, misete yaru is like, come on, I'm gonna show. Kind of like tataki tsubushite yaru. It's that same sort of, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna show them. And then that no-yo, again, it's feminine but emphatic. And they're like, come on, girls, let's show them, you know, what pure-hearted girls are made of. Nani ga nandemo by itself means like, no matter what happens, ganbaranakucha, we have to persevere. Mune means your chest, but again, it doesn't always literally mean that. I think I've mentioned this in a former video. It's more like your breast, but in a like old school poetry literature kind of way, not literally your breasts, but your heart, really. Ni chikau, to chikau. Chikau means to swear, like an oath. So mune ni chikau is like to swear with all your heart, kind of feel to it. Ai no senshi yo, so instead of aoi senshi, it's now ai no senshi, which is incidentally the title of the song, which is soldiers of love, warriors of love, but really specifically Sailor Moon protagonists of love. That's the senshi we're talking about. Oh, and I forgot to cover it in the last chorus, but the yo at the end of this, senshi yo, okay, yo has a lot of different meanings, guys, but in that first chorus, it probably meant a form of address, like kami yo. If I were to say that, kami means God, and if I say kami yo, I'm not saying God exclamation point or God emphatically. I'm saying, oh God, dear God. So if I say aoi senshi yo mezame nasai, like wake up, blue soldier or young soldier. Yo at the end in this case is like, I'm commanding you, or like, oh, my young soldiers, wake up, kind of. It has that kind of feel to it. In this line, though, mune ni chikau ai no senshi yo, it's is a little ambiguous. It could also be the same function. It could be like we swear it in our hearts, we are soldiers of love. Or it could be, hey, soldiers of love, swear it in your hearts. It could be either. It's a little ambiguous. Okay, and this last chorus just has a couple subtle rewordings of a couple of the lines, which I'll just go over very briefly. So it basically takes the first line of the second chorus, and then it adds the second and third lines of the first chorus, and then it takes the last line of the first chorus, except instead of mezame nasai aoi senshi yo, it says mezame nasai ai no senshi yo. So that means instead of awaken young soldiers, it means awaken soldiers of love. I hope that was helpful or shed some light on how the translation process of the Japanese language works. If you want to see my actual translation of the song, look in the description. And now I'm going to play the song and we can all sing along together. I'm going to have the Japanese subtitles in Romaji on the screen so you can follow. 髪が空に燃え上がる体が炎のようよやだわなんでこうなるの本当にもう怒っちゃうから恋をして切ないまま甘い夢を見てたいのに許せないあいつらのせいよやっぱり私やる気ゃないね叩き潰してやるわこの手で悪をそうよそれまで頑張らなくちゃ目覚めなさい青い戦士よ It's been years since I've sung this. I need to look at the lyrics. どんな悪い人だって好きなら信じてみるのそれを利用するなんてそんなのやっちゃいけないのよいつだって守りたいのあなたのため飛んでゆくわ愛だけが限りないエナジーねえ私たちやる気ゃないね女の子の純情を見せてやるのよ何が何でも頑張らなくちゃ目覚めなさい愛の戦士よ This is like the coolest instrumental ever in an anime, or at least I thought so back in the 90s. It's still cool. ねえ私たちやる気ゃないね叩き潰してやるわこの手で悪をそうよそれまで頑張らなくちゃ目覚めなさい愛の戦士よ Well, thank you for watching that long video. What anime song do you want me to do next? Let me know in the comments. Add me on the socials, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And thank you for watching this video again. I'm just gonna keep talking till the music runs out. Bye-bye!